Alright, wrestling fans. This man has won multiple championships all across the UK. I am joined by TNA Impact's latest talent, Birmingham's own Rockstar Spud. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, guys? I'm all good. I'm here.
Well, you are here right now, but you're off to the US in a bit. How you feeling?
Yeah, fly out the 27th of February at 9:45 in the morning from Heathrow Airport. I wanted to fly out of Birmingham, because, lazy. But, yeah, I've got a long trip that day, so I'm going to be travelling for at least 15 hours, I believe. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to, grab the bull by the horns and off to the States I go.
Well, speaking of bulls, what are you going to be missing most about Birmingham then? Because you're off from here now,
The bull ring. How could I miss the bull ring? No, I'm gonna miss a lot of things about Birmingham, like family, friends, the usual. But like, I'm gonna miss a lot of the rock bars here. But I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see what the States is like. I mean, I'm pretty sure when I get there, there's gonna be a lot of American girls. Oh my God, you're English, and I'll be like, yes, and now I'm overly English because you've pointed this out. How are you? And then I'm obviously going to get so many American girlfriends. So many. Line up, girls. Line up.
Well, that's it. You're a Rockstar Spud. You've won this TNA boot camp. Yeah. How big is that, man? That was awesome.
Biggest thing that's happened in my life ever, and probably the biggest thing that's ever going to happen in my life, bar winning the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. But yeah. Up until now, just like I've been wrestling for 11 years, and when boot camp came about, it was just it was like a shot in the arm to me to come on, you can do this, and like it was like my one last chance. It was like Rocky Balboa again. I felt like, I know that sounds really pathetic, being like 30 years old, but like I really did think that was it for me, because it's not going to happen for you, but Jeremy Borash and TNA gave me this opportunity with British Boot Camp, and it's just been an amazing ride, and I'm so honoured to have been the winner and the first winner, and I've got that for the rest of my life, and yeah, I'm really honoured, because TNA's got the best wrestling talent in the world to me, and just to be associated with those names on that roster in that ring, it's just a dream come true.
Yeah, well, listen out, Jeff Hardy, listen out, Hulk Hogan. Rockstar Spud is about to go to TNA. What are you going to bring to TNA? What are you going to bring to the TNA roster?
Mate, I'm bringing British wrestling to the Impact Wrestling roster. I'm bringing Rockstar Spud to the Impact Wrestling roster. I'm bringing personality, charisma, bit of charm, bit of good looks. I'm bringing absolutely everything to the Impact Wrestling roster, and as I said, I'm not coming home to Birmingham unless I'm a champion, and we've got a tour next year that's coming back to the Birmingham NIA. I'm not coming back to the NIA without that X Division Championship or that Tag Team Championship or that World Championship round my waist.
Alright, well, what was the hardest part of that boot camp then? If we're going back to TNA boot camp, what was the hardest part of that? Because it was a struggle, because you've had to struggle through a lot of things.
The hardest part was probably, everyone will go, oh, was it Rollerball Rocco? Was it Al Snow and Doug Williams? Was it wrestling from the Impact crowd? It was probably overcoming myself more than anything. Just overcoming myself, and just because when I walked into the boot camp process, I was confident, you could call it, or overconfident, as other people would call it. But just realising that, this is a big opportunity, and you're not the mutt's nuts yet. You know what I mean? And just overcoming my own personal, ego, I think, was a real big test with it. So, Rollerball Rocco was tough. Al Snow, Doug was tough, but just overcoming my own personal, opinion of myself was, like a real obstacle to overcome, and I feel I'm a better person after boot camp as well.
It wasn't easy either, was it? Because the other guys there, they're pretty damn good, aren't they?
Mighty Skirley's one of the best talents in Europe. The girls are two of the best female wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. So, they're excellent, and I just really, I'm really honoured and humbled that they chose me over those three, because it could have been any of us, and all the way through the process, if you watch the show, it could have been any of us. But I went from zero to hero that whole process, and hopefully, I know Hulk and Dixie made the right decision, but hopefully with what I'll bring to them at Impact Wrestling, they'll know they've made the right decision when they see what I can do.
Spud, You said you started wrestling 11 years ago. What really inspired you to become the wrestler you are today?
It was Hulk Hogan. I'm not lying when I said this. Like, I first clapped eyes on Hulk Hogan, I think, when he body slammed Andre the Giant, and that was the first thing I was like, he's a real person and he's a superhero, and I just fell in love with it from there. And in that match, Hulk Hogan was the little guy against the big giant, right? So I always saw the little guy won, and the underdog won, and I've always been a massive sucker for the underdog story, and maybe my wrestling career is based on being well, it's not based on, it is a little bit of an underdog story. There's so many little guys that have in the business that have messaged me and said, you know what, thank you, because you a lot of us were losing, we felt like we couldn't do it, we didn't feel like we could do it, and you gave us hope that it's possible for one of us, and we're glad it's you because you deserve it, and it's really nice to hear. So
as back when Hulkamania was running wild, that's what caught Rockstar Spud to
exactly
really grab the ball.
Exactly.
So you probably started wrestling when you were about, was it 21 years old?
18 years old. 18 years old.
18, okay.
Yeah.
And that would have been for small indie promotions.
Yeah.
And how different is it wrestling for these small indie promotions to where you are? I mean, there's been places like Ring of Honor and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla where you've made appearances as well.
Yeah.
How different is that and TNA to the indie promotions where you started off?
It's just a whole nother level. Just the backstage area. I mean, you can see it on boot camp. I mean, we're used to. Marty says it perfectly on boot camp. We're so used to arriving at a small venue, and at the moment British crowds are selling out everywhere. I mean, we'd arrive at a small venue, we'd have a dressing room that's probably only really comfortable for about 10 people, and we've got about 30 in there, and we're all trying to change over each other. And then we go out there and we do our thing, and we come backstage, and the room's like gone up in temperature because we're all sweating over each other and everything. There's no shower. We just dry ourselves out, have a hose bath, and flipping wash ourselves in the sink, and then we go home. But that's the way it is. Those are the miles you got to put in. There's two things that are real in wrestling, and that's the money and the miles, and you have to put the miles in order to make the money. So that's what we do. We travel all over the country, all over Europe, all over the world, where if we're told, okay, we want to use you, here's the money, you got to come all the way over here to get it. And that's exactly what we do. And we perform, we love performing, and then we get paid and we go home, and that's it. But comparing it to TNA, it's just... TNA is a global company. It's not like, we've got this regional promotion, we've got this promotion that's really popular on DVD.
And they're touring now as well.
Exactly. We're touring all over the world. We're touring all over the United States. Impact's on the road now. It's huge. It really is. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right, and you've had setbacks such as your neck injury. How did you come back from stuff like that if we're talking about miles?
That was scary because obviously 2 days before that, one of my best friends was had a serious neck injury, and he's now paralysed. So, I mean, it was very scary because it kind of made you realise that, it made you think to yourself, is it worth it, or was it worth it, or whatnot? And I from there thought, okay, if I get back from this, I'm gonna be a lot smarter now. And I started working on little things like promos and character, and just the way I motion with the audience, the way I draw them in and everything. So that was what I pushed myself to look toward, because I don't want to be injured. I don't want to. My best friend's in a wheelchair. I don't want to be sitting next to my best friend paralysed in a wheelchair. So I was okay, we got to do this now. We've got to work on this stuff, so we don't have to go through that again. And it was a long process because it took me well over a year to get over. But one of the things that helped a lot was I did hot yoga in Birmingham, and that helped me a lot. Just bridging on my neck and everything. I mean, I can click it now if I wanted to, but still get some tightness there. But it really did help me out with exercise and everything like that around my neck, because I used to feel like I was getting pulls all the time there because it was really tight there, but not so tight there. It was just it's really hard thing to come over.
Interesting you should mention yoga. There's stuff like DDP. A lot of wrestlers sort of...
Yeah, I hear. I go to hot yoga because of the stretching and because you're in a steam room and it totally just removes all the toxins from your body. I can't recommend it enough. It's a great thing to just keep your body in tone, keep it in shape, and also for losing fat as well. So I totally recommend it.
And what's your training regime like?
I'm in the gym probably 4 to 5 times a week. And obviously you've got days where you've got shows, so sometimes you go, sometimes you've been out on a Friday night, so you don't go in the morning, and then I've got my set way. I mean, like, I try and condition myself like an athlete, so I'm not conditioned to be the biggest guy in the world. I'm not going to be a burly hench 5'4", am I? So I was never put on this earth to be a monster. So I've embraced the fact that who I am, what my build is, and conditioned it to the fact that, okay, we need to get you in shape for, looking like an athlete, and that's what I've really done, like focused on weights, cardio, wrestling training as well, because there's no training for wrestling like wrestling training. So it's just everything to keep me conditioned for what my job is.
And you know what, there's guys in that ring that you step into, and they're like twice your size.
Yeah.
Abyss, for example.
Yeah.
How'd you deal with them?
Well, sometimes you can't deal with them and it just happens, and they deal with you very quickly. But no, it's I love getting in there with guys like that, because like the part of this business is storytelling, and the story's already told before we've even wrestled.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of it. I really enjoy that.
And let's talk about Rockstar Spud himself. So babyface Spud, ultimate underdog going up against these big guys, but your persona's changed a little bit. You seem to have found yourself a bit more.
Yes. Well, like, well, you say I've found myself. Like, I was always like this when I was babyface underdog Spud, but you just don't let everyone know about it, really, because it might put them off. But yeah, I kind of embraced the fact that, like, I'm a bit of a jerk, and just ran with it. Really, I am a bit of a jerk. I'm the perfect example of little man syndrome. I shout my mouth off when I shouldn't. I say things that are completely unnecessary in a social situation. I'm vulgar with my humour and language, and I just went with it. And I was just like, you know what? The only way they always say that the people that make the most money in the business are the ones that are actually themselves. So,
But hey, you talk about mic skills. You talk about talking stuff on the mic. Pipe bombs, for example. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was all those things.
Well, it's really funny. I started doing promos online, focused towards like people like Marty Skrull.
On your YouTube channel?
Indeed, on Rockstar Spud TV on YouTube. It's got its own television channel because it's on YouTube. But I just used to... I was watching a documentary that featured Steve Austin, and one of the guys said that years ago, wrestlers used to pick up a microphone and air their grievance, whereas now they go on a social media site and type it, or they tweet it or whatever. And I was like, well, that's a good point. No one does that anymore. So I picked up a camera and I just started ranting. About things that annoyed me, and I was just like, here we go. Like, okay, Marty Skrull's on Take Me Out. Well, I was on Slug Mary Void. Let's have it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So I just went from there, and then it got a lot of attention, and then I realised that, I've got a show this weekend and I'm against my opponent. There's really no backstory because the promoter's gone, oh, you can go against him and you can go against him because it'll be a good match. Well, I want to sell tickets, so okay, let's start a grievance. I'm just going to start insulting this guy so that when he comes out the curtain, everybody wants to see him kick my head in. And that's exactly what I'm there to do. So that's where it came from. It all just came from that.
And you have got a match this Sunday, TNA?
I'm against Robbie E in Wembley Arena, so that's going to be on Challenge TV at 9 o'clock on Sunday, and then if you tune in to Backstage Pass after at 11 o'clock, you'll be able to see all behind the scenes of the Wembley tour. So it's an amazing experience, that tour.
Yeah, you're talking about your match upcoming this Sunday, but what has been your best ever wrestling match?
My best ever wrestling match?
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Can't say that I've had one.
Oh.
Can't say I've had one. And you know what? Like, loads of people will always say, like, oh, that's got to have been the best one. That's got to have been the best one. I haven't had one. Because no matter where I've had a good match, there's still been empty seats. Until there's a venue that's completely full, they're standing, whatever. That's my best match because I drew the most people and I got the most people there. You know what I mean?
What about guys you've worked with, though? I know you've worked with guys such as Pac.
Yeah, I've worked with Pac long time ago. Adrian Neville now, is he not?
Well, he's Adrian Neville. He's changed his name a little bit.
Gary Neville's long lost brother. But yeah, I've worked with Pac back in the day. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So, if we're talking about your TNA career now, is there anybody that you're really looking forward to wrestling inside that ring?
I want to get in there with everybody. TNA is the best talent in the world. Like, I could get in there with ring generals like Bully Ray, Kurt Angle, Sting, Joe, Magnus, anybody. And it's just it's so nice to like feel like you look at yourself and you're on that roster page and you are one of these people associated with those greats, you know, and like just to step in the ring with them, learn, soak in what's happening when you're in the ring with them. Just so much stuff I'm going to learn, and it's exciting times. It really is.
What do you think about the direction TNA's going in? It's sort of like the late 1990s all over again.
How do you mean?
Well, you know, we've got these groups such as Aces and Eights, and we haven't seen that sort of thing for a long time. But I think us as wrestling fans really love watching that.
What I think is different about the TNA product is that everything happens for a reason. It don't just happen. So, and I think that's where the wrestling fan kind of relates to it, because they're like, oh, that's why they're doing that, or that's why they do that.
Yeah,
It's not just happening. Like, there's not two guys. It's like I said earlier. There's not two guys just having a match for having a match's sake, just to fill TV time. They're having a match for a reason, for a purpose, for a goal. Everybody's goal is to be the world champion. Everyone's having a match because they want to impress Hulk Hogan, because they want to be the world champion. You know, and little things as well, like the camera work backstage and stuff. It's not like WWE where there's a camera there. And these people are just talking, oh, what are we going to do this evening? Oh, I know. Well, if you're ever in trouble, I'm going to run in. And the babyface goes out there knowing full well that this has happened. And, you know, so you've got them sneakily looking in and catching these conversations that they shouldn't be, you know?
Yeah. Unpredictability.
Unpredictability, reality TV, all these little touches that don't make it wrestling. You know what I mean? It makes people that are watching wrestling for the first time go, oh, that's why. Oh, that's clever. You know what I mean? They're real people. We are real people. So they're catching us in real life situations, having a conversation.
There's going to be a lot of people listening right now who are thinking, oh, I used to watch wrestling as a kid. I used to watch it. The problem is now everything's made for kids. What would you say to those people right now? You know, tune into TNA.
Well, we are a totally different thing to WWE. We're not catered for kids. We are the complete alternative to WWE. We are everything that we are everything. We cater to kids. We do. They're a massive market. We cater to adults. We cater to pensioners. We cater to the cats. We cater to the dogs. You know, we cater to more than WWE, and that's why Impact Wrestling is the highest rated show here in the UK, because we cater to that audience. And I think what's missing is that cutting edge television, and I think that in wrestling, I think that's what TNA brings compared to WWE, because WWE are just focusing their product on, okay, how much merch can we sell, or this guy, that guy. The crowd are bored with him, but he sells a lot of merch. Oh, you know what I mean? And it's like we listen to our audience at Impact Wrestling, and we invite them into our environment with a fan interaction. It's not like pay your ticket, there's the wrestlers, right, leave. It's come and join the Impact Wrestling family. Come and join the TNA family. Come and meet Hulk Hogan. Come and meet Sting. Come and see yourself on TNA Backstage Pass, you know, when it airs on Challenge at 11, and you can see yourself when you were there, when you met Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? You
were on camera, first of all, on Bound for Glory.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I believe the DVD's coming out soon.
The DVD's out, yes. It's been released now. So, I mean, you can buy the Bound for Glory DVD now. Is it?
I think it's on Amazon.
That's right, you can buy it on Amazon.
Google it.
Hey, I didn't even know it was... Hey, everything's available on Amazon now. So HMV's available on Amazon now. So
can I just say, Bound for Glory is Awesome pay-per-view too.
Oh, fantastic show! Hey, they're front row the whole show, and I just remember watching just taking it all in, just suckering it all in, and then there was our moment on TV that we thought was really good, and then Dixie just went, "Nah, it wasn't that good, really." But yeah,
she tore it to shreds, didn't she? On Boot
yeah,
Camp?
she kind of put us in our place. So yeah, got to learn from that.
It's really interesting to see. That wasn't even 10 seconds of footage, and she still managed to tear it to shreds.
There's
good. So much you have to do right.
Yep, there's so much, and I've got a lot to learn, and I'm still learning, and I'll be learning every day.
Okay, so you in the industry, who would you say has been your closest friend so far?
My closest friend?
Yeah.
That you guys would know. Magnus has been a great friend. Jeremy Borash, he's been a great friend. Abyss, wherever he's gone, but he was always nice to me away from the cameras. But I spoke to his cousin. Is his cousin or his brother? Is Joseph?
His brother, isn't it, Joseph? Yeah.
Joseph's his brother, I think. But
It's his
Joseph's
brother,
he's always asking me whereabout he is. But I don't know. But I always ask him to pass on messages. But he goes, I don't see him. So God knows. But they're good. They're good friends. I mean, they've always been good to me and always helped me out and looked after me.
And as a wrestling fan as a kid, growing up, favourite matches?
Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I would say Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, but Hulk lost that day, and I wasn't impressed.
No.
Oh, what other great matches did they have? I really did enjoy Randy Savage and the Ultimate Warrior. I'm a big 1980s man, and
Macho Man.
Jake the Snake Roberts and Randy Savage. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the olden days. Like I love the Freebirds and the Von Erichs. I really did love. What was his name? What was his name? He wrestled Kurt Hennig. Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich when he wrestled the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
I just love the Von Erichs, and I remembered him as Kerry Von Erich. I could never remember him as the Texas Tornado because he was always Kerry Von Erich to me. But I loved World Class Championship Wrestling. I loved the NWA back in the day, like you sort of Flair and Sting, just tearing it up and that. I just like all the old stuff. I'm a real big fan of like old wrestling, like from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
So you're talking about all these great names in wrestling. Which one of those, out of all of those great wrestlers, would you happily face next?
Oh,
well, the old guy. Hulk Hogan, straight away. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Why? Just that the amount of money that you draw with Hulk Hogan, just being in the ring with Hulk Hogan, everything, just
being in the ring with Hulk Hogan is just that in itself is amazing. And
yeah, exactly.
You're going to be tearing it up on TNA on the same show as Hulk Hogan every single week, and you know what? It's going to be awesome, isn't it? Your adventure in TNA.
Well, it's not an adventure anymore; it's my job. So it's kind of like. The real work starts here. So now it's my job, and now it's time to turn off the adventure mode and put in some real graft. So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you ever get tired of working on the road so much? Because it's really a full-time job. I mean, people sometimes think of this
full-time life.
It's life for you. Okay. Because some people, they're just there thinking, okay, yeah, they need to get into a ring once every week. But you get tired after working so many shows.
They only see the 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That you're in front of the curtain. Everything that goes to build up to that is just from when you wake up in the morning to get breakfast, to go to the gym, to travelling to the show, to getting food before you wrestle, to getting ready to wrestle, then after you've wrestled to travel to the next venue, to get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, to then only have a few hours sleep because breakfast ends at 10, so you get there at like 9:45 because you've only had about 3-4 hours sleep, and then again the next day and the next day, but you can't get any sleep because you got to travel, and then the next day that's it. So it's a lot of thought into getting some downtime, getting some gym time, just rest. As long as you rest your body and rest your mind, you're going to be okay. And
listen, from this Sunday, well, not even from this Sunday, you've been on TNA for the last few weeks or so. Why should people be tuning in every week to see Rockstar Spud especially?
Because I'm the baby Jesus of British wrestling. That's why. I'm there because I'm gonna. You know what? I may be small, but so's a stick of dynamite, and then I'm gonna stick me in the middle of the impact ring. I'm gonna light up and boom.
Well, that's a pipe bomb for you. That is a pipe bomb for you.
No, it's a stick of dynamite. No one knows what a pipe bomb is.
All right, you're on Sunday night. Your TNA debut match. Any last things you want to say to your fans? How can they keep up to date with Rockstar Spud?
They can keep up to date with Twitter at Rockstar Spud. Enjoy my musings and self-promotion. You can search me on Facebook, Rockstar Spud, and also YouTube, Rockstar Spud TV. I'm all over the bloody place. I'm everywhere. I'm also on Instagram. There's some nice pictures there.
One final question from me, Rockstar Spud.
Go on then.
What is next for you in the ring? And next year, when you return to Britain, will it be with that World Heavyweight Championship?
Hey, touch wood, it will be with the World Heavyweight Championship, but I'm aiming, I'm a sensible man, I'm aiming and I'm setting my sights to come back to Birmingham next year for the tour, and I'm going to be the X Division champion. Maybe I'll even win it in my hometown, but I'm going to be the TNA X Division champion.
Rockstar Spud, thanks for joining us in the Sports Lounge. It's been great meeting you.
Thanks, bro.